already read the lesson. Let's start by looking at the first page of the lesson plan. Annotate for the purpose of the lesson. What kind of lesson type is it?
And then I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it. Go, girl. Let's go.
It's a no lesson.
Yeah.
So students are focusing on how does the text build their knowledge.
Yeah.
Around Walter D. Myers.
How does this build off what they've already practiced?
So they have they were introduced to relative pronouns and relative adverbs, and so on today, when they do lesson 25, they will write knowledge statements using relative pronouns and adverbs.
Yeah. And then where's this lesson taking us?
It's taking us to module task number 3. Being able to collect and organize evidence about Walter D. Myers and how he demonstrated great-heartedness.
Yep. So this is like if we were to think about the writing process, this is the planning lesson. Okay. So this is a good place for us to like organize our thoughts. Okay. They don't need to be perfect yet, but this is the place where we do that brainstorming. Yeah. Why does this, so think about, this is the end of this arc. We say goodbye to Walter Dean Myers after this lesson. This is also funny because this is now 2 no lessons that we've done in a row. As we say goodbye to Walter Dean Myers, why does Arts and Letters include this obituary article about Walter Dean Myers in the grand scheme of the unit? Why does this text matter?
Because it's explaining, or really like demonstrating an example of what it means to have a great heart.
Yeah.
And that's their big question that they're trying to answer.
Yep.
So
yeah, we've got this great-heartedness idea. I also, like, after this, we're going to do Love That Dog. Guess who shows up in Love That Dog?
Yeah.
Your favorite. Oh, we love That Dog, no matter the curriculum we're teaching.
I love That Dog, yeah.
So I wonder how Love That Dog will, like, hit this year, knowing that we've provided kids a week of background knowledge with Walter Dean Myers. In the past, when we've met Walter Dean Myers, it's like one of the famous poets Jack has studied. But now it's like, well, we actually know why he was a big deal.
Exactly. Right.
So I'm curious to see, like, I think this is a good lesson to, like, tie that bow on Walter Dean Myers, knowing that we're going to meet him again in a fiction text.
Right, because I think they have a good sense of like who he is. It won't just be like, oh, this is a poem about Walter D. Myers. Now they have all of this background knowledge.
I agree. Definitely. All right, let's take a look at that first learning task. You beautifully told me what the learning task is, so let's take a minute to write our exemplar, and then we'll compare our exemplars and write our CFS together. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because I have a question about the CF.
Actually, that makes me think, do I already?
Is this are y'all doing a notice thing? A wondering lesson?
No, a no lesson.
I know, okay. This is 20, that's 25 though?
Yes. Which, Kiara, I should have asked you this. This is the lesson you're teaching tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. I was like, ooh, probably should have started there.
No, I was only asking because I guess I didn't realize the arcs weren't perfectly aligned across 3 points.
They're not, yeah. It depends on the length of the text.
And I'm not sure if this is okay, but I like the sentences.
I do too. Okay. I think don't work harder, work smarter. I have been starting to use those, especially when learning tasks are a part of like yesterday or today's lesson. Yesterday's lesson, today's lesson. where they're going to write the caption.
They're gonna write the caption.
And I was like, oh, this only makes sense if I go look at the actual graphic organizer.
Right.
So,
I got you.
yeah, that totally makes sense to me. All right. Give me 2 of your sentences.
All right. Walter D. Myers was an author who received many award nominations for his work. The next one I have, Walter D. Myers visited libraries where he spoke to young people about his work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I wrote 2 that...
Did you do 2 for each?
I didn't.
Okay.
I tried 3 with the relative pronouns I could remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
And then I went and checked my answers against what arts and letters had, and I was like,
right.
oh, why is it?
Right?
Yeah. But I had forgotten some of the relative pronouns, so that's why I do like this. Walter Dean Myers was a famous author who wrote stories for and about New York City teens. Walter Dean Myers traveled the country to talk at schools, which allowed him to learn about their stories.
Oh, you added which?
Which I was going to say, that was the one relative pronoun they didn't use. So that's where I'm like, consider writing one for which. Now, as a refresher, I did write the 5 relative pronouns that we practiced with at the top of this.
Okay.
You want to give me 4 of them? Actually, you might be able to give me all 5.
I have that's for the pronouns, right? Okay, that, which, who, and help me out with 2 more. Geez.
You got one in
Which, who?
the exemplar there. Why?
Why? Okay, and
Where?
where? Got it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm,
Yep. Yeah, that, which, and who kids got a lot of practice with.
Okay, you know I got confused right here because I was looking at he and
Oh,
but that's not. But
that
that's
is
not,
a pronoun.
It is a pronoun.
It's just
but
not
it's
a relative pronoun.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So that, which, who, where, and why.
That, which, who, where, why. Yep.
Perfect.
And again, like, I think kids are going to use, this is something that I would consider posting.
Yeah, right. To remind them.
Yeah,
of the words.
these are our relative pronouns that we practiced. All right, so knowing that, what needs to go in our CFS?
For the first one, I was considering maybe they should review the knowledge chart.
I agree.
it's
That's going to be
in front of
part of the
them.
directions.
Okay.
That they should, 1, review the knowledge chart. Yep.
Okay.
But again, that's going to be a direction, not a CFS.
Analysis. Okay. So since it's 2 statements, are they looking for like one sentence uses a pronoun, one sentence uses an adverb?
I don't think we have to get that technical.
Technical, okay.
I think like you can push that. If you want to raise the rigor, you are welcome to do that.
Okay.
I'm not certain I could tell you which one are the relative adverbs versus the relative pronouns. I think the point is that kids are able to expand upon their original nugget of knowledge
Okay.
using one of those words to expand their sentence.
Gotcha. So it's all about expanding. Okay.
Yeah. But I think that might be a good thing to have in the CFS, like expand their knowledge statement with what they know about Walter Dean Myers, like thinking about content.
Ms. Brown.
Because I do think using is also it. So, right, the first CFS should be
Use.
Did you see my Slack message? Can you
Use a
look at my
relative.
message on Slack? All right.
pronoun or adverb.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's where we could also say the 5 of them.
Use a relative pronoun or adverb. Should we write to expand?
I think that should be a separate CFS.
Okay, gotcha.
Because,
Okay,
right, I
okay.
can check your work to see that you've used it. Now, have you used it correctly to expand?
Okay.
So I actually think, and that I think even that can be split into 2. Did you use it correctly? So used correctly. And then I think the third one is expands sentence
Caleb.
to tell more about Walter Dean Myers.
Okay, come here. Any idea you can type? I'll smash that head out here.
Good morning.
Weird. Same moment.
All right, run it back to me. What CFS do you have?
All right, so the first one we said use a relative pronoun or adverb.
Perfect.
Number 2, use correctly to explain more about Walter D. Myers. I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
Yeah, I think it's 3. I think it's use the relative pronoun correctly,
Okay, use it correctly.
and then expand sentence to tell more about Walter
gotcha.
D. Myers.
So number 3 should be expand.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right.
Because you can use the relative pronoun and use it incorrectly,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell more about Walter Dean Myers, but if you're not using it,
Correctly, yeah. That
You know,
makes sense.
yeah.
So the purpose should be like making sure that they're using it correctly. Alrighty. Okay.
cool. All right, let's go back to the beginning of the lesson plan, and let's see how does this lesson build up until the learning target. Last week we tried thinking, I do, we do, you do.
Yeah.
How helpful was that?
No, that's that's perfect.
Great.
I've been doing it. Like I'm gonna send you a picture.
Yay!
But I've been doing it more. But you said I stopped here. But
Great.
No, it's helpful because it lets me know. Like we talked about timing last week, and so the parts that says like I do, I know I need to be like very
Great.
yeah.
Great.
So
Then
you're
let's do that
working,
again.
yeah, okay.
Great.
This is fine. You had it done. You have a line. Go ahead. What you talking about?
And then that day, when gave us the video on her, Taylor said it was not a big deal. And then I was like, it's okay, it's just food, just wipe it off.
And nothing to do with it. Got it.
Ooh, it's actually not a lot of practice. It's pretty quick up until
Yeah,
this.
it is quick.
Baby, you can't go first. I'm not gonna be quiet.
All right, let me know when you want to run it back.
And this is just for the first part?
Just
or did
for the
you-
first part. We're
okay,
not even
all
on
right.
writing yet. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
You don't get to talk like that.
All right.
You don't.
All right, how's this lesson flow?
All right. So in the lunch, that's an I do.
Into a conversation that has
Well, I do and we do because we do core read.
Yeah.
So we do. Okay. We do core read the content framing question. I explained to them that they are where we're going to be learning more about Walter D. Myers today. Then in the learn section is a lot of we do.
Yeah,
So like for number 1, I specifically put we do.
me too. Something you did really well last week with your nose lesson that we didn't talk about, that I said to Roselle before we went in, I was like, ooh, I hope she does this, because I caught this in the moment of teaching. I didn't think about this when I was prepping, but you clearly did, was when they're talking about that world knowledge chart and things that they've learned, those should be simple sentences. So not
Gotcha.
combined with like because or and, because what we want them to do is turn them into complex
Exactly,
sentences.
right.
And you did that beautifully.
Thank you.
So I wanted to name, do it again.
Thank you. Okay, I sure will.
Yeah, that was like, I was so nervous about that going in because I said to Roselle, oh, I didn't catch that in the lesson. And then you did it naturally. So great job.
And it's so, like, literally, do you feel like when you first teach the lesson, right? Like
Yes.
that first block, then
Yes.
you go to the second, third,
Yes.
fourth block, knowing so much
Always,
more.
always. And then by that 4th block, I'm like, all right.
Exactly. Yes. And I feel like it just goes by so much faster. But
Well, all right. So we talk about those knowledge statements, what we remember from Walter Dean Myers.
Yeah.
You know that. You know that.
and will this be
Only
a?
saying it's not a big deal because you don't like her.
Because I know sometimes the lesson plan doesn't specifically say. Well, they do name when it should be like a think, pair, share, right? But when they don't name it as a think, pair, share, are those like giving them think time? Like right for number 1, they are silently reading the knowledge statements. But then the question.
Okay.
What did we learn, right? Blah, 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 blah. Is that a share? Is that like a whole class thing?
See how next to that question, there's a single little bubble?
Right.
Usually what I've learned, let me show you another example.
Today,
I don't know if there is another example. No, not in this lesson. What I've noticed is when there's one speech bubble, that's just a share out.
Okay.
When there's 2 speech bubbles,
Okay.
that's when it's supposed to be a partner share. Now, you can always turn share out into partner
The
share.
partner. Okay. Okay.
You will never not get feedback around that unless things are moving too slow. Then we'd be like, all right, just share it.
Exactly right.
But that's what I've noticed, especially like looking at the slides compared to the lesson. When it's a double bubble,
Okay.
it's a think, pair, share,
Think, pair,
or
share.
turn and
Single
talk.
bubble,
Just share out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Say okay.
take that.
I got you.
Use what makes
yeah.
sense.
I got you.
Cool.
You think it's a small and funny? It's not. It's becoming a very big deal. She's getting in a lot of trouble.
All right. So we've got the
Her family.
read the knowledge statements, share out. What have you learned?
Her mom, her grandma.
Okay.
Then what?
And it's
So then for, number 2 is an I do, I'm gonna add those.
Yeah.
And then, for respond, for number 1,
it's gonna be little and funny.
Because arguably you could be adding, like, as kids are sharing it.
yeah,
you could be
as
adding-
they're sharing,
yeah,
right. Okay, number 1, it's a you do I wrote because they are.
I actually
pairing-
agree.
Only because they're pairing, they're
Yeah.
pairing up with their partners, they're reviewing those strategies, and so that's why I will use.
Yeah, it is like, we've been practicing this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also wrote down to like remind them to like pay attention to what the relative pronouns are and what the adverbs are.
This would be a good slide to add just those 5 relative pronouns
Okay.
to make it really snappy for kids.
Okay.
Because I'm not certain that based on that workbook page that
Right.
it has right there, that that's what they're going to take away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
So I would add those and to the slide there.
All right, and then 2 and 3. I'm sorry. Number 2 is an I do because I'm expanding again, and then number 3. I don't know why I wrote I do, but that's actually you do. Yeah. I wrote
Because it's you do with a partner.
Yeah. They're working with a partner to rehearse a sentence using one of those strategies. And then you do again for
And there we go.
the learning task.
Something that we noticed last week is like, this is a beautiful lesson that has the practice, now go do.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that step 3 should be, we are practicing how we play because I'm about to go write it.
Okay. Right.
So step 3 and 4 should feel pretty seamless as you launch into that learning
Go
task.
for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Start over.
And for the learning task, right? Is it always like basic 5 minutes? Like, should we always start there, or should
For
we
now, yeah.
start at 5
Yeah,
minutes?
5 minutes. I know that in our upstairs grades, it can be sometimes a paragraph, and I think we are going to start after module 1, start getting into some more paragraph writing.
Okay, so they'll probably
So there could be a world in which, okay, if you know you're writing a paragraph, you're writing four sentences, 5 sentences. How fast can you write? I would argue a minute per sentence, but
Okay.
I would also expand that to be like maybe 90 seconds per sentence. Again, it's an imperfect math. Yesterday for the summary, it was 4 sentences ish. I gave kids
right.
I gave kids 7 minutes, and I'm
Okay,
like,
yeah,
and that
that's
felt
what
right.
Yeah. 7, I think it was like 8, but I noticed that-
Exactly.
Yeah. But I did. For some classes, I was able to like stop it before.
Exactly. Okay, here's one more thought. So we have a beautiful CFS for the learning task. In step 3, kids are rehearsing that sentence before they go write it.
Right.
I think that CFS should also be visible for kids for step 3.
For step 3, okay.
So when they turn and tell their partner their sentence
Right.
that they're expanding upon, that's when I would tell them, okay, you're gonna practice your sentence. Your
Okay.
sentence needs to have a relative pronoun. That, which, who, why, where.
Right.
It needs to be used correctly. You're gonna tell me more about Walter Dean Myers. I'm coming around to listen,
Okay.
and you're just listening,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that when you then do it for step 4, you go, oh, now you're gonna write your sentence.
Exactly. And I like that because yesterday's lesson also had that in it, where they talk about it first and then they're writing, like the summary, like we're really
Yes.
practicing the
Yes.
summary.
And so I caught that yesterday too, and that yesterday was what made me go, oh, if I have a CFS for the writing and you're practicing it orally, I should probably give you the CFS. And I didn't do that. And so,
Okay.
and I think that was my biggest gap in my data yesterday, was if I had given kids that CFS,
Right.
they would have been more successful. And I listened for it, they would have been a little more successful.
Okay.
Try it.
I will.
Tell me how you think.
Yeah, I will. I will try it out.
Okay. Last week, did Mr. Gregory, we've got kids in here, so he's going to be Mr. Gregory. Did Mr. Gregory give you an action step for last week?
He did. What was that?
I have it.
Okay, you have it. All right.
Okay, so it is around using the CFS.
Yes.
That's,
Yes.
again, what we're going after. So when you release kids to do step 4, the learning task, there are 4 things I want you to do.
Okay.
You're going to set a
Should I
timer.
write those?
If you want. Yeah.
Okay, set timer.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I want you to narrate pencils moving. So who's on
Okay.
task?
Okay.
Because Rashawn said you did too last.
Yeah, you did. Tell
This
me.
makes sense.
Yes, yes.
And then I want you to narrate your lap.
Okay. What
I'm coming
around
to
for.
see. Yes. And your lap is going to match the CFS in the order in which we wrote it.
Okay. Right. So the first one, right? Use a relative pronoun or adverb. So that's the first.
Yes.
I'm looking for.
I'm coming around to underline your relative pronoun.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, 2 people saying that. That said it too. He said she got mad. He told her I wasn't with you.
All right. Narrate the lab and.
You can just say match CFS. If you want to script out the CFS, you're welcome to.
And again, I gave
Okay.
you the
Match
opportunity.
CFS.
Last thing, and this is where I'm going to push you in the moment,
He lied, so you know.
30 seconds or less per kid.
He did do it.
Okay.
And I
Like
figured I
going
wasn't on purpose.
Yes.
around.
Because rather than getting too in the weeds with 1 or 2 kids with their feedback, I want us to look at a kid's paper and name what we see them doing right in the CFS.
Do not lie.
Miss Rodney has her relative pronoun. We move on.
Okay.
Mr. Gregory doesn't have his relative pronoun. We move on.
Gotcha.
Miss Kellison has her relative pronoun. So we just keep going because then by the time you say it 3 times, hopefully Mr. Gregory will have updated his sentence to use that relative pronoun.
Gotcha. Okay.
The idea here is that we are going to get to a place eventually where we're giving kids that one-on-one feedback, but we're trying to do blanket feedback right now.
Right.
And we're going to do that by narrating what we're seeing right so that kids on the other side of the classroom can be like, oh, right, I'm supposed to have that relative pronoun.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that-
Great. So that's what I want us to try when we see you in action tomorrow. And that's where I'll real time coach. I won't real time coach until that moment.
Onto
Just a
that
heads
part.
up.
Okay.
Mr. Gregory might with like on task stuff, but
CFS.
probably not.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I need to nail these.
Yeah. Do you want to practice it? It's up to you. You don't have to right now. We can wait. Let's wait because I think we should keep looking at the lesson.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. The rest of the lesson
Her and Rashawn didn't have time to do
is that writing practice.
No. Yeah.
So because Arts and Letters provides the exemplar, I want us to think, I actually want us to just read through this part right now
Okay.
and notice the flow of the practice. And then when we get to the end, we'll stamp what does high quality evidence have to look like.
so much.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would spit on her. It's disgusting. Be quiet. Be quiet. And the thing is, they're all messy. So she's like, yeah, but the fact that you would spit on her is crazy. Mackenzie, you go sit down somewhere. Like, figure out what to do. Shit. Run like this right there. You're also being messy too, and you're creating conflict with her too, because you keep going back and forth with them. Instead of telling me or your teacher, you're going back and forth with me. And then your teacher's telling you to stop arguing, and you won't stop, and you get in trouble with me. And they keep, they're in class, they're never in trouble. But it's because of your reaction. You have to stop letting them to understand they're doing it on purpose.
Every time I tell Miss Brown something, all she do is take a dojo point and they still be doing it. Like yesterday, earlier told me that's one of
Okay,
my
well, what do you want her? Yeah, look at me. Y'all all messy. You don't know who's on. Y'all all messy. I don't care. I don't care. It's all of y'all. Y'all all talking to each other crazy. Everybody. So she took a double point. What do you want her to do? Take out the double beat? What do you want her to do?
No, but you still talk
Okay,
about
tell
my
her again.
I did.
Great. So keep telling her. He said all she did was take a double point. What do you want her to do?
Mama?
That's not for you to decide, baby. That's not for you. You tell yours, or you tell me. Look at me. I gotta look at your reaction. Because if Ms. Brown says you start fighting with her, now you're in trouble for something else. He just sounds crazy if you just want, right?
kinds, it gets them right into practice,
Yeah,
huh?
it really sends them right into it because it's like, yeah, it's not that much.
Please do not do so.
So before they go,
Come and find me. Do not walk out the class. I don't understand to tell you to tired. Tired of the original police.
Okay,
I'll talk to you later.
ready?
yep.
What you got?
All right. So number 1 and 2, I do. Number 3 and 4. I guess it could be. Well, 3 is really you do.
Yeah,
But I mean, but
Don't
going
split
into
hairs.
4,
Yeah.
going into 4, it still becomes like a we do, I guess, because they're sharing out.
yeah. And you're checking and changing their answer. They're making sure that it was right
Right.
to underline the
And
thesis.
one bubble is just a share out, right?
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that they're clear on the focus of the essay. And it's about Walter D. Myers, how he demonstrates a great heart.
Yep.
Number 5 is still we do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna quarterly read the thesis. Okay, yep. And then the students provide evidence about how Walter D. Myers was
Yeah.
empathetic and generous. So I guess that for that part, everybody's like they really should be listening, right? Like for different.
What step are you on?
For 5, number 5, when they.
So
like,
5 is just like, this is our graphic organizer.
Mm-hmm,
This is what we're going to do.
mm-hmm.
We know that the thesis is that Walter Dean Myers has a great heart, so what are you looking for evidence for today?
Right. Okay. How he has a.
So it's a check for understanding.
Okay.
What are you about to go do? So they're not doing anything yet.
Right. Okay, so for this question
Mm-hmm.
though, right? When what evidence do you need to support the 2 points? Should I have someone name the 2 points?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that, because what do they then look at the graphic organizer? What do you want them to fill out at that point?
Exactly. Okay.
I know it's teeny tiny.
Yes. They need to fill out.
But do you see the point box?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
looking at something
yeah,
else.
that's where I would be like, oh yeah, those are our 2 points. Put it in your point
Put it in your
box.
point box. Okay.
So you're finding a piece of evidence about how he's empathetic. You're finding a piece of evidence about how he's generous.
Gotcha.
And you can push for more than one piece of evidence. You always can.
Okay. I can have them.
In fact,
So
I
it's
would.
fine if I have them put it in the point box
Yes.
in that moment.
Yes.
Okay.
And keep in mind, this little snippet only shows you the first page. There is
Right,
a
it's a
back
back
page.
page, yeah.
So it should be like empathetic, back page, generous.
Okay.
That's what I would try.
All right. I'll try. I'll make sure I write that. 2 pieces. Right, but they need 2
Mm-hmm.
pieces of evidence. Okay. All right. Great. All right, here we go. Number 6. That's an I do. Just giving them a reminder of like revisiting the text, right? Usually I always ask them like, or like reinforce like where does our evidence come from?
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
text, so that's an I do. And then 6 and 7 both are I do's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting them ready for the learning task, and then
7, before you get into the learning task, 7 says read the text with a partner.
oh,
Identify and discuss examples of Walter Dean Myers showing empathy and generosity. So I do think this is a good example of one that's like, we're practicing,
right. So it's a you do, right? Would you still say it's a you do?
or a we do because you're practicing with a partner.
Okay, all right.
It again, don't split hairs there. It could be a you do, it could be a we do.
I got you.
But
I got you. Yep. So they are discussing with a partner, and so I should be walking around making sure that they are giving like the correct example.
yes, so this is where I'm like, all right, let's pull back. What is your vision for this? Because you get to make this lesson like have it your way. What is that? Burger King, have it your way. If in 7 they're identifying and discussing examples, and then 8 they're writing their examples independently, what would you be looking for in 7? How do you want kids to? What's your vision? How do you want kids to engage?
Definitely, I would say like speaking in complete sentences, obviously, and then listening for them using Walter D. Myers' name first, right? Because this is who it's
Definitely.
about. And I should listen for the words empathy and generosity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Walter D. Myers shows empathy by, or like.
Yep. Do you want them, again, it's your lesson,
Mm-hmm.
you have it your way. Do you want them underlining details that they find together in the text? Do you want them using Post-it notes?
I like that. Usually, like underlining, right? Just to like kind of stamp what you want to say. I think that's helpful.
Because how would that be helpful as we go into step 8?
I guess like seeing, my thoughts are all over the place, but I guess like them being able to like underline, I guess like not being able to like repeat it, right? But they can also use that to put it in their own words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think then it becomes less of a mystery.
Right.
Of, so wait, where did this evidence
Exactly.
come
Because
from?
sometimes they're like, oh, like looking all up at
Yeah.
the sky and stuff. And I'm like, it's in the text, like just put it in your own words.
I love to tell them, especially when we do evidence like this, I'm like, ELA is sometimes the easiest subject because the answers are right there.
Right there.
You
Exactly.
just gotta find them.
Exactly. Yeah, so I do like the underlining. So should they underline with their partner, or would that be like something that they should do?
Oh, I think they
by
should
themselves?
absolutely with their
Okay,
partner.
and they
Yeah,
share.
that's
Okay.
that's how I am reading step 7. With a partner, identify and discuss.
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm identifying, I need to make sure I know
Right.
where I'm talking about.
Exactly. And it's helpful too, like when they all have their own copies, right? They're
Are you rushing out after this?
I am. You want me to call you?
No. I'm gonna go observe for 10 minutes. Will you still be here? No? Okay. No. You're really rushing out for real. Okay, give me a call. When you get a minute.
I will.
Alright.
what else? I don't know what I was about to say.
No,
But
it's
yes.
okay.
No, I was saying that it is helpful. I like when like whatever we're working on is actually in their learn books, because like why not annotate?
Yes.
Why not mark it up?
Yes,
And,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Great. I do actually have to
Yeah,
run.
go. I
I'm
know,
so
you know,
sorry.
I
I'm so
know,
sorry.
I know, it's
Here's my
okay.
ask.
Okay.
As you think about then them using the graphic organizer, what would qualify for good evidence versus bad evidence? What makes good evidence? Like evidence always, every time we write, does what things?
Prove the point.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? So your evidence, like,
So like I said, so I should be listening for like, are you using empathy? Are you using generosity?
they might not say that because that would come in. So look at the
Right. Like
elaboration box. That's where I would want them to say, this shows generosity because or
okay.
this is an example of him being generous. Something
Okay,
in the
gotcha.
elaboration box, not necessarily the evidence
The
box,
evidence.
which they should be filling out, both boxes.
Right, exactly. Okay. So the evidence, so for the evidence box, I need to make sure that the evidence is coming straight from
From the text.
And then the elaboration box would be like you just said,
Yeah.
their own words.
Yeah. I think evidence proves the point, just like you said. Evidence comes from the text. Elaboration connects the two, the point
Okay.
and the text. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Great.
Elaboration connects. All right.
Awesome, friend.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry
I
that I do
know.
have to run.